state of Hyderabad had a powerful and effective telecom system. The Nizams had their own postal service that printed stamps on par with the modern stamps wing of the British India. The first post office was set up in 1856, Stamps Department in 1869. First telephone line came into being in 1885. Nizam Radio found its voice in 1939. On the silver jubilee of Nizam's 7th ascent to throne, the government distributed 20,000 radio sets to the people. Even in the field of education, Hyderabad had a unique place. Salajung promoted state-sponsored education. Nizam took it to a higher level. He had not just set up educational institutions here, but also made handsome donations to Aligarh Muslim University and Shantiniketan. By 1872, Hyderabad had 16 government-run schools. They taught Telugu, Urdu, Persian, English, Arabic and Marathi languages. Darul Uloom Oriental School College, 1854. Hyderabad Civil Engineering College, 1869. Chadarghat High School, 1876. Chadarghat First Grade College, 1881. Alia Bada English School, 1879. Law School, 1899. Hyderabad Public School, 1913. Nizam College, 1886. Anglo Vernacular Schools like City College, 1921. Mehboob College, 1882. AV College, 1944. Dharmavant School and College. There were several English medium schools of repute in Secunderabad. First English Public School, 1834. Roman Catholic School, 1835. St. Francis, 1850. St. Anne's, 1861. St. Mary's, 1885. William Barton, 1916. St. George Grammar School. Hyderabad was famed for its women's education. It was known as the city with most educated women. Pilgrami Girls' School, 1878. Nampalli Girls' School, 1890. Stanley Girls' School, 1895. Mehboobia Girls' School and College, 1907. Non-Parda Methodist High School. 3 girls' middle schools. Janana School for girls. Osmania University was the pride of Deccan. As the seat of higher learning, it shone bright in the whole country. It was the first university to teach in local language. Osmania University, 1917. In addition, Adi Hindu leader and Hyderabad's own Ambedkar Bhagirathi Verma had run over 30 schools for Dalits. The government in 1897 launched the scholarship scheme for the students intending to study in England. Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India, studied in London thanks to Nizam's munificence. There were welfare hostels for the students. Reddy Hostels, 1920, Bachelor's Building. City was known for its progressive women. It was the venue for cultural and intellectual endeavours. To Nilofer, the youngest daughter-in-law of the Nizam, goes the credit of setting up Hyderabad Women and Children Welfare Society. Andhra Yuvati Mandali, 1935, Lady Hyderabad Club. Hyderabad had a robust medical and health system that helped its people weather pestilences like plague and cholera. This city was the first to think of specialty hospitals. This was the medical capital of Asia. Darul Shifa 1581, Hakim Nizamuddin Clinic 1630, Hyderabad Medical School 1846, Edward Memorial Hospital, currently known to be Gandhi Hospital 1851, Afzalganj Hospital 1866, Jajki Khana 1889, Usmania General Hospital 1925, Usmania Medical College 1926, Victoria Janana and Children's Hospital, Residence Maternity Hospital, 2 TB hospitals, Quarantine Hospital, Nilofer Hospital 1953, Erragadda Mental Health Hospital 1897, Chest Hospital, ENT Hospital, scores of Ayurveda and Unani hospitals. It was in Hyderabad that Ronald Ross made his path-breaking researches in malaria. He is also the first one to get a Nobel in Asia. Fardoomji, who worked in Residence Hospital, is the first woman anesthetist. Hyderabad had no dearth of libraries and reading rooms. Mudigonda Shankaracharya Granthalayam, 1872. Asafia Library, 1890. Gunavardhak Library, 1895. Bollaram Reading Room, 1896. Bala Saraswati Library, 1895. Usmania Library. Sri Krishna Devarayandra Bhasha Nilayam, 1901. The government not just allocated funds for the libraries, but also recorded the new arrivals into the library. At the dawn of the 20th century, Hyderabad had its own power supply system. Hyderabad was home to the first ever electricity board in South India. By 1910, Hyderabad was producing power on the banks of Hussain Sagar. By 1913, electrical bulbs shone bright in Hyderabad. By 1930, it was the best electrified city in the country. The Madras state, of which the Andhra region was a part, could see the light of the day only in 1927. A good 17 years after Hyderabad had its electrical supply.